Jalen, you said about the blitz the other night, bring it at the end of that news conference. Is there something this year that you're more confident than ever about handling blitz?
I just think just trusting the coaching and everything that's been delivered to me, and we just want to go out there and execute the different things and try and learn from our history, learn from the things that we've experienced in the past. But the ultimate goal is to step out on the field and feel like you're in a good place, and we're just taking it day by day with that.
How was the communication with Cam there? It looked like some exchange stuff. What was that communication process like with him?
I'm sorry?
With Cam Jurgens, what was the communication process like first game with him?
I think it was really good. I think when you're sambing with a new partner, you got to find their rhythm, you got to find their flow. And I think with this team, on all phases, we're sambing with new partners. Defensively, different play caller. Offensively, different play caller. New coaches in different positions, and quarterback and center. Obviously, that has changed. Even right guard and whatnot. So I think just finding that flow, continue to communicate over time. Cam's a guy that really works really hard. He puts his heart into it. And he grinds. He takes the coaching from Stout. We have the great conversations. He's really a force up front, and I got all the trust in him. Moving forward and all these things. It just takes that communication and the work that we're going to put in and we have put in. So I think he's in great hands.
What makes Jesse Bates stick out?
I'm sorry.
What is it about Jesse Bates that makes him so?
I think. I think he's a great all-around player. Been doing it for a very long time. Him and Simmons. So those are two guys that you gotta know where they are on the other side of the ball.
Jalen, after reviewing the tape, what's the key to avoiding those type of interceptions moving forward?
I think I made two unwise decisions. Those are all things that I own. So those are things that I got to be better with. Truly managing those situations and. Just taking what they give me.
In those moments, it's obviously like a split-second decision. How do you avoid it though? Because in the moment, it's got to be a little tough to just.
It's not tough. It's just I made an unwise decision on both of those, and I just don't do it.
We've talked in the past. We've talked in the past about you flushing maybe negative plays. You seem to be very good at that. Other quarterbacks maybe not as much. Is that cognizant from your standpoint, or is that just natural for you?
I think I just go out there and play the game. And I think when you talk about all the different nuances that go into it, especially this year with the different changes and finding your flow and finding your rhythm, I think all of those things are to be accounted for. But in the end, it's my job to go out there and lead the football team. Go out there and get us in the right play, get us out of certain situations, and ultimately play smart football situationally. And I touch the ball every play. So you got to be wise with the ball in your hands. And I had some examples where I wasn't wise with the ball in my hands. But in the end, things tend to turn on and click when you need them to. And that's what we work hard for, those moments.
On the first interception, you have two in the backfield. You end up having, I think, 3 downfield versus 7. Mm-hmm. Later in the final drive, same situation, you kind of motion into that. You end up scrambling. How do you balance situations where you're anticipating rushes that maybe don't arrive versus, having options downfield when you need them?
I don't think that was an anticipatory thing. I just think it was an unwise decision by me. It was a great call. I got to execute it. That's on me.
The Steelers offensive coordinator said today that they weren't challenging the middle of the field against the Falcons out of respect for Jesse Bates, and I think they said they didn't want him to wreck the game. As a quarterback, how do you kind of navigate being aggressive and being careful, so to speak?
You just go out there and play. Try and play and execute what's called play on rhythm, play on time, and, just play the game. Like I said, those are two guys. Even out wide, 24, Terrell, A.J. Terrell is a really good corner, really good player, and that's how this league is. I think in the end, it's about just making good decisions.
Now that you've had a game under your belt with SAQUON Barkley, what does he kind of add to the offense? Were you able to see just how dynamic he can be and what you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, it was. He's a great player. He's a great player, and we knew what type of player we were getting. And I think, from my vantage point, it's exciting to see, just to see him come in and see how he just adds, you know, a dimension in terms of how we complement each other. You know, from all across the board. And so, he had a great day. I'm happy for him, and he showed up. He showed up big time.
I know there was some times in camp where Kellen was in your ear calling plays. You had maybe some time to game plan for inter-squad scrimmages and joint practice. Last week was your first real game plan, go into a game, see how he calls a game, watch the tape after. How do you kind of evaluate that whole process? What was that like, and what did you like about that?
Yeah, I think all of these, I think that's a great question. I think in terms of process, and everything is different, you know, because you're working with different individuals. And so my process in which I prepared for a game last year, in some areas it might not be the same. It's all in navigating how Kellen, how Coach Doug, how they want to operate. And so I think there are definitely some things that I want to see to kind of get a foundation, get a pulse. How are they doing it? You know, what's their rhythm like in this area? You know, what's their communication like even? We're sambling with different partners, different people for the first time, and we're just trying to figure out their flow. And I think as we navigate that, we'll win. And that's what we did.
I'm sorry. Are there things you learned specifically from this first time that you can kind of take into next week?
I won't get into detail, but yeah, absolutely. I think there are a lot of things to take away from the game in all aspects to just push our football team to be a better team and you know, ultimately to continue to grow.
On Monday, Nick Foles is being honored. Is he someone you've gotten a chance to
Monday night?
On Monday night.
Of course, cool.
Is he someone you've gotten a chance to either know or watch, or I guess aware of the history that he has here?
Nick's from Texas, right?
Yeah.
I've never met him. But obviously a legend here. A lot of respect for him in his game, and I'm happy and proud of all the success he's had, and I'm glad he's able to share that moment.
Did you watch that Super Bowl that he played in?
I did. I think I was at Alabama, I think. Yeah.
What did you think when they ran Philly?
Great play, great call, great catch, great execution.
You had one of those at Oklahoma, I think.
I did. Yeah.
Do you think the
Y'all trying to get at something this week? Y'all want to see or something?
Yeah, pretty good.
Did you feel like the Packers tried to take your legs away from you as far as running the ball, and if so, are there things you can exploit off that later on?
Yeah, I think you find a flow for things as they go on. I think for the defense we just played, the team we just played, I think they're definitely mindful of that in my game. But I think you know, when you try and take certain things away, you kind of expose yourself to other things, you know, creating yourself vulnerable for other things. And so, yeah, I think there are definitely things like, you know, the last time we played them, it was a pretty good day on the ground. So I think, you know, everybody's aware of that.
Speaking of navigation, over your career, I think you tried to protect yourself more when you're running. But late in that game, trying to get a first down, you carried basically two guys for the first down. In that moment, is that something you're conscious of about protecting yourself, or is it just something that just happens instinctively?
It's just something that comes to you. I think there are certain moments in the game where sometimes it just it's on, and it's kind of like make it happen. So, yeah.
You mentioned Doug Nussmeier. What's his presence like on game day?
I'm sorry?
You mentioned Doug Nussmeier, quarterback's coach. What's his presence like on game day?
It's different. It's cool. It's cool. He's great. I think he's very informative, direct, great communicator. And I think just me finding that flow again with Coach Kellen and Coach Doug and just navigating that, even Will Greer and his presence, finding my flow with those three guys and just continue to take steps. You know, we had a trial run. It was a real action, obviously, but had a first round go at it, and we'll continue to build over that. It's the one thing about it, yeah.
So third and longs aren't.
I feel like you had a good question coming.
Can I hear it?
You can go.
Third and longs are low percentage plays anyway, don't really want to be in them, but what are your priorities whenever you're faced in a third and long situation as a quarterback?
What do you mean?
As in, like, if you're passing on third and long, do your priorities change versus
Nah,
other
it's
plays?
always execute the play, and I think again you want to make the wise decision with the ball. Being a quarterback, touching every play, so I think there are different situations that come up with that. You can be backed up in the red zone, you can be in the fringe area, you could be in a different mentality. Play caller could be trying to throw a shot down the field, could not be trying to throw a shot down the field, and so I think it's a part of everyone being on the same page with that. Part of everyone being on the same page with that. It could be a third and long, it could be a run play, Ain't much I can do but hand it off on that, so it's all a testament of everybody working collectively, being on the same page in it.
I'm sorry, on a much different note, Frankie Beverly's death, how did that affect you?
Yeah, I got chills thinking about that. Man, he's a person that his legacy will live forever. He's touched so many different, people across the world through his words, through his songs, and through his music, and it's just timeless. It's timeless, and I got the opportunity to meet him at the Magic City Classic in Birmingham in 2018 for the first time, and he was like a uncle in a sense of how he just, welcomed me, and we exchanged signatures, and I gave him an Alabama hat at the time, or helmet at the time, and yeah, it was fun, and then obviously being able to catch him on the farewell tour, I think it's just kind of full circle, and I think that's just God working, and I'm very very, very fortunate, very blessed that my family got to meet him, and before he passed, and yeah, his music will live forever, music will live forever, so it'll be a good tribute for him Monday night.